For 2023, I really want to solidify family programming, a family peer support team, other family members. So whether it's sworn or civilian, those family members can reach out to other family members to realize that they're not alone in this.
Episode number 96, Kim Butler. Can you believe that?
Oh my God, that's a lot.
I'm getting old. Today we're talking about our wellness program here at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I am Todd Baxter, the Sheriff of Monroe County here in Rochester, New York. About 1,000 employees, and one of the things we've been talking about for a long time is taking care of our employees so they can take care of the customers. It's a leadership model that's pretty simple, if you will, but in our world of going to contentious call after contentious call and dealing with prisoner after prisoner, at least you get vicarious trauma. So we hired the absolute best in the county of Monroe to come in and help us develop a wellness program, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Dr. Kim Butler, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure having you. How long have you been with us?
Gosh, a little over a year and a half.
Wow, it's incredible. It's not only incredible, we're going to talk about it obviously, but what you built has been amazing to watch, and I've been sharing it around the state, and hopefully we're going to share it a lot more, but you know, it's not cliche. It's something I've been saying in leadership for years. Take care of the troops, they'll take care of the rest, right? Whatever, you know, Wegmans does it well as an example, right? They take care of their number one, they're always rated number one employer. And then ironically, we keep on going there and spending a lot of money because we like the service we're getting from those employees. And so it's a secret recipe that we try to keep close to ourselves, but we didn't. But, you know, we talk about law enforcement. In particular, some of the things we see in law enforcement and some difficulties cops are having sometimes making not so good decisions or just stress getting to them over an amount of time. So we actually decided to put our money where our mouth was and develop a wellness program. So, and as I said, you're the cog of this wheel as it turns around. So being that cog, why don't you just share a little with the public here who you are, you know, where you come from, and recently got the doctorate, and maybe share a bit about that.
Yeah, that was a long road. I came to Rochester. I grew up in Baltimore City. Huge Orioles fan, just to throw that right out there.
Red Sox fan, I don't know if you know that, but we could talk offline.
Yeah, I came up here, went to the U of R, then stayed for grad school, first in human development, then in social work, and then worked for 25 years now in the mental health system and decided to go back for my doctorate. That's
good. And where'd you get that from?
I got it from Alliant University in California. Okay. I had the hard job of going out to California.
Yeah. You're full of sacrifice.
It's hard to be me.
You're full of sacrifice. But ironically, and I mean jokingly, you're full of sacrifice. But that's exactly what your job description is. I mean, if I could sum it up, you're constantly sacrificing yourself, your time, your family. I know you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning hitting the gym.
Yeah, it's
because that's when your day
empty.
Starts. Yeah, I got it all yourself. Huh? I didn't think about it that way. I have to go to the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning, apparently. But that's you. You're a servant, and with your specialty and your niche of taking care of people, taking care of their wellness has been utterly incredible to watch. I always said, I'm going to brag a little bit about you, as you were in your prior career, I always said, if you're going to find the best of the best in any one of their careers, you were the best of the best in your career. Find the best cop, find the best astronaut, find the best ball player. Kim, so we are blessed to have you. I just want to say that in public. We'll mute this out later, but it's just a blessing to have you.
Thank you.
And so we came in and let's do something new. Let's start a wellness program for deputies and their families. And so what did that mean to you when you showed up? What was your thought process?
What's kind of cool, I love creating new things that weren't there before. One of my favorite quotes is that you can't give what you don't have. So we really want, when I have had to call 911 for myself or for my family members, I want the person that responds to have the most empathy and compassion in the world, because I deserve that, and everybody else deserves that. But you can't give it if you don't have it. And if we can't take better care of the people that are out there responding, whether it's in the court or the jail or out on the road, it's not going to be possible. So we need to do better by them.
Yeah, and I ran the Veterans Outreach Center for a few years, and I argued with a psychologist once on WXXI Radio Live about post-traumatic stress disorder. And my thought process was, let's get rid of the D, the disorder. It brings a stigma that no one wants to talk about, whether you're a proud veteran or a cop or a firefighter or any other job where you're going through just turmoil after turmoil and stress after stress and stress. And everybody does. That's life. We all have stresses, and we all build up, I think, post-traumatic stress over time. But our job just exacerbates that problem, right? So
it does, and when we think about it, nobody calls 911 on their good day.
Right.
And every single person in jail or in court, that's not their good day either. So everyone that's interacting with them, every single call is a crisis. It's a crisis for that individual, and it just builds up.
Yeah, think about a court deputy working over at family court, right? And all you're dealing with all day long is broken families and kids being used as pawns in relationships, and moms looking to feed their kids and don't have enough money, to walk out the door with and get into a taxi to go home, and just it seems simple like a job, a court security deputy working on family court, but you're absorbing that. You're
Yep.
sitting there all day long absorbing that negativity, and that's where post-traumatic stress or other stressors come from. And
Yep.
and my point about getting rid of the D word, and you can argue with me if you want, because now you're Dr. Kim Butler, but it's post-traumatic stress. It's perfectly normal. It's human. We have stress in
Yep.
our life, and we're going to build up stress over. If we don't learn how to get rid of the stress, it's going to build up and become a disorder, right?
Right.
But we can prevent that with preventive maintenance, some of the stuff you're trying to do, and also post-critical incident, working on that as quick as possible.
Absolutely. I think that's what's so cool to me about this program is it's absolutely we have to be reactive in life to some things, but we also really need to focus on being proactive.
Love it.
So the more that we can do before it may become a point of a disorder, the better. When we start noticing, wow, my partner, he's not looking as good. Maybe he's drinking more, I'm more depressed, I'm going through a divorce. We all have it, but we need to identify it, and then what do we do about it?
And what do you do about it? And developing relationships with professionals, relationships with professionals that can help you do something with that is probably the secret of this whole thing, right? This is the key of bringing a Kim Butler and now your additional staff we're hiring. It's all about relationship building. We
Yep.
can bring the brightest people in here, but if the cop doesn't trust you, they're
Yep.
not going to open up to you. And that's been simply amazing. You brought this app on board. And I remember looking at the purchase request for an app, and I was like, the sheriff's getting ready to buy a wellness app. I can find better ways to spend money. That's honestly went through my head, but I trust Kim Butler, so we're going to try this and talk about that app. I mean, it's just been overwhelming, right? The numbers were crushing.
It's really incredible. I mean, it's really hard for anybody, any human to reach out for help. It's really hard for law enforcement to reach out for help. So it's yet another way, whether or not we like that we're on our phones all the time,
Right.
we are. So putting the resources right in someone's hands. So those therapists, whether it's mental health or chemical dependency, that are COP approved, putting that in their hands, peer support. Some of the things that are most widely utilized are meditation and sleep sounds, which kind of surprised me. And there's also ways we've all kind of wondered about ourselves. Gosh, am I too angry? Do I not sleep enough? God, am I depressed?
Right.
But you don't ask anybody. You just kind of wonder to yourself. There's self-assessments on the app as well. And the nicest part of it is that it's completely anonymous. So everybody logs on with the same username and password, whether it's myself, whether it's my husband, everybody, civilian and sworn.
And the numbers have been incredible.
Yeah, every single month, more people are downloading
Yeah,
it.
God bless.
And it's great because we don't know who's using anything. And as I tell the deputies and the civilian staff, I don't care what you're looking up. I'm just glad you're looking up something.
Right.
If you need to look it up, I want you to look it up. So there's no tracking of any utilization other than the numbers of people that are downloading it.
It's amazing. Just the fact that people are engaged with the conversation, right? We used to
Yep.
bury this stuff. Now it's part of our norm. The app is, but also you're become part of our norm. People do not mind coming up to you at roll call anymore and just
No.
talking to you and say, hey, can I chat with you? In public, they'll say that to you, right? I mean, you mind if I chat with you at the roll call?
Yeah, initially about a year and a half ago when I started, it was like the dirty little secret because you didn't talk about wellness. You didn't talk about needing help because we all have to be big and strong all the time, but we're not. We're human beings. You all are human beings. You just happen to wear a uniform to work.
Right.
So now it's not as much the dirty little secret to ask for help, which is incredible.
Yeah. And that's again, that's the key right there. And it takes personalities, it takes trust to be able to build that infrastructure for a wellness program. One of the things that are most amazing to me is now we're reaching into the families. I just did a promotion ceremony earlier, and I was talking to the families directly about that. You are part. I neglected my wife for 35 years, 19 years on a city SWAT team. Every time that bell rang, she just got up. She helped me make coffee. I always got my cold clothes out of the trunk of the car, and we put on our Batman uniform and went to work, right? And it goes to solve the problem. Never realizing who I was leaving at home for the
Yep.
next 5 hours to fill in the gap of information, right? What's going on? And I met a deputy's wife the other day, and she was expressing the exact same thing. Like, we got to do better with the families. And I know you're on top of that. I know you're going that way. But, man, it's just been that thing you forgot about, the families. And it's definitely the overall product, right, of officer wellness is including
Absolutely.
the families. How's that going? I mean, I love your families wellness days, or the wellness family days, or what are we calling those?
We did have a family wellness event.
Family-
The first one we had was back in August of last summer, and it was incredible to see kids and husbands and
Right.
wives and girlfriends, boyfriends, anybody there, and we were all as one. It didn't matter what bureau you were. Nobody was wearing a uniform.
Right.
Everyone was playing volleyball, in fact, and there were kids cheering. It was incredible.
Let's go.
And it definitely opened the door for some loved ones to be able to reach out to myself and the other clinician that we have on board now, acknowledging their loved one needs help, but also wondering if their kid needs help or what we could do to better help them. So The family circle,
Yeah.
we need to involve them
Absolutely.
or the staff's not going to be well.
No. And we're rolling some pictures right now of some of those events, and I think we got bowling coming up, correct?
We do. We have
Yeah.
a special bowling event coming up that'll also be for family as well. We're trying to do some events only for the sworn staff and the civilian staff, really focusing on different ways that we can relieve our stress because we may know, wow, I need to do more, off work time in order to feel better and have stress relief, but you don't know what to do. You don't know what like hobbies to pick up. And
Right.
so we're doing that kind of stuff as well as for the families.
I mean, some of the things you've been doing, you had gardening, I believe. You mentioned yoga. I know we've been with the horses,
Yep.
which are incredible. People think of dogs and therapy dogs and things like that. The horses are just an incredible tool.
And they're thousands of pounds, and there
Yeah.
were people, brushing the horses, which may sound kind of silly, but it's remarkably relaxing to be
Yeah.
able to kind of get in the zone.
Yeah, and build that trust because a horse will tell real quick if you don't trust them. If you're
Absolutely.
nervous, they pick up on it really, really quick.
We have a book club going on right now as well.
Oh, really?
May sound kind of silly to some, but I tell you what, it's catching on, and there's already suggestions for what our next book is going to be for the next book club.
What was the first one? Have you done one already?
Yeah, the book club is going on right now. I think this is week 4,
Okay.
if not week 3, with
Yeah.
Kevin Gilmartin's book, Emotional Survival for Law
Yeah,
Enforcement.
absolutely.
And what we've talked about is also doing a second book club with that same book, but for family members.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be powerful. That'd be, you think about data collection and the family's the rich part of data sources that we don't
They
dive
are.
into. It's incredible. So it's been a goal of mine to take care of the troops, right? 5 years ago. I ran as a sheriff. That was my mantra. Leaders eat last, right? We got to take care of them, and this has truly been a great exploration of what we should be doing. And I know we don't have it perfect yet, and we don't have it down to science because we're always learning. We're smart enough to be a learning organization. I hope you got a couple more clinicians coming on, and our
Yeah.
goal is to get one in each zone office. That's where our road patrols are. One in the jail and the court, and make them the Kim Butlers, if you will, with that personality and that trust that these guys are just part of the nature and the culture of those offices.
It's
pretty
true.
excited about that.
So Fraternal Order of Police did a survey in 2018, and for 90% of the responding officers, what really stood in the way as their biggest barrier to treatment was feeling comfortable. It was that stigma, which, like I mentioned, everybody has. But the hope is that we can have folks embedded within the department. So you see them, you're drinking coffee with them, you're seeing them in the locker room, you're seeing them at roll call. So when the bottom falls out of your world, maybe you'll
Right.
even talk to them.
And you've been very selective too. We've had a budget line and the positions approved with the county for quite a time now. But the fact that you're being so selective of who we bring on board, I think is very important to the deputies. They might not realize it, and hopefully they're listening and saying, we're not just hiring anybody with a degree coming off the street. We're hiring the right personality. And if they don't have the right personality, we're going to vote them off the island because it's all about that trustworthy. It's
That's
going
right.
to be fruitless, maybe even counterproductive. How does this interact? So most people are familiar with in any organization, but let alone law enforcement and firefighting and things like that, peer support groups. So they've been around for a long, long time. We've used our peer support people. But so how's that interacting with the clinicians?
That's a good question.
Yeah, thank you. I asked it.
So we've reconfigured the peer support team, so now it's under health and wellness. There's
Okay.
about 22 current peer support team members, which have all been trained. And they're really the ones that are out there. They know their people better than anybody as that peer role. So the thought is that they're doing their thing. They're not reporting who they're talking to. They're not passing along issues to the clinicians. But when someone needs something, we talk about that they're referring up. When someone needs more help than a peer support team member can do, they refer up to a clinician, and that's when we get involved.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, I liken it to air traffic controllers. When you come down on the runway and there's
Right.
someone waving the flags telling you which way to go. That's kind of like the clinicians. We're not going to be the end-all, be-all therapist
Okay.
weekly for the rest of someone's life. We're going to be putting out the fire, and if you need more than that, we're going to help you get more than that. and
Again,
help.
it can go up one more layer, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's so key. And I think we're going to watch a video here in a second of a little speech I gave this to introduce to our public what we're doing.
For you, the men and women of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, retirees, and our families. The MCSO Wellness app is designed by the Officer Wellness Team. It provides you with a variety of wellness information and services on your smartphone or tablet. One of my goals for MCSO has been to find the resources to support our members' wellness. We hope having quick and easy access to important information will help you and your families when it's needed most. This is very important to me because each of you are a vital part of our team and our family. We care about you, we care about your loved ones, and we want the best for them and you. Take care of yourself and take care of your family. And thank you for what you do. God bless you.
So we sold that, I think,
We did.
because of the video, right? Not because of you.
It's really good. Mhm.
Yeah, that app. I mean, it was amazing how it took off. And did I mention I was a doubter at first?
I know.
You even asked me to do this selling video, and I'm like, I could do this. This is cool. But
I can turn people into believers.
yeah. But simple things, right? I think the simplicity is important to realize here too. As people look to develop one of these programs, is the right people, the right personality. Obviously, some budget lines are needed and things like that. But the simplicity, I think, is what, especially cops, they're not trusting people in the first place, right? They deal with people lying to them for a living. And to give a simple tool like that, and I'll say it for like the fourth time on this episode here, it's been amazing the number of people clicking on that app. And I just think that, first of all, it scares the hell out of me. At first, I was like, wow, this many people are asking questions, if not reaching out. And then you dwell upon that and you're like, thank God.
Right.
What did we do before this?
Yeah, I like to kind of think of the wellness program as a buffet menu. There are probably some people that would never go to meditation or never utilize that app, but hopefully one of the things on the spectrum of opportunities, maybe one thing they'll use. And I think in order to make it a success, we need to be able to change it and acknowledge sometimes we're not getting it right. Sometimes we got to change it up, create new things, new programs.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's limited your imagination. I would like to do a lot more with horses. As I just roll that out, and some friends using, in particular, our mounted unit as they go through their recoveries. It's just amazing. I don't know why. The animals are just an untapped resource, it seems like.
They absolutely are.
And I think we just brought in, or bring it on. Is the puppy here?
Oh, he'll fly in on February 21st.
So our wellness dog.
That's right.
So we have a deputy assigned, and she's going to have a dog that's hopefully going to break down a lot of barriers for us too, and just be part of our culture, running around the different offices. And
absolutely. It's hard opening up. It's hard talking, but sometimes that dog, if you just pet that dog, maybe it can open up a door or just let you be able to realize what you're feeling. So I think it's going to be amazing for the whole department.
Yeah, and I found in the veterans world, we didn't have a therapy dog, but we had a dog, right? And it wasn't even a wellness dog; it was just a pet. But breaking down barriers, especially with kids, they would come in and nervous about going to talk or don't want to go over here with dad or mom, and then the dog's there, just wants to play, throw a ball, and the whole world changes about 180 degrees really quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful tool. So where are we going next? Where's the wellness program going next? I'm asking you live on TV, on the radio now. So not on TV, that's your old job. On the radio. So it must be an open game right now, so you can say anything you want. And I got to kind of acknowledge it. So
now's my time. Well, I'm looking forward to
a
bringing
San Diego
on,
office, right? You're looking for a satellite office?
Maybe, in the Caribbean somewhere. I'd like to we need to be onboarding the clinicians that are going through the background process. So it'll be exciting getting them on board. For 2023, I really want to solidify family programming, a family peer support team, other family members. So whether it's sworn or civilian, those family members can reach out to other family members to realize that they're not alone in this. So I think the more we can build that up this year, it's only going to help the staff that we have because they're going to know their family members are cared about and taken care of.
Yeah, and the kids and, even extended family. We had some parents in here for the promotion ceremony. It was just so great seeing all these civilians, if we will, but family members show up and support their loved one and get them promoted. And that's called the clue in police work, that people are engaged with their family. So how do we make them feel supported? How do we make them feel welcomed and part of the family? And it's a whole different twist on wellness. We think back of critical incidents, right? So in our business, we're going to have a critical incident. In anybody's life, you're going to have a critical incident. It could be a motor vehicle accident while you're driving home from work. That's a critical incident. So we all suffer through these things. But in law enforcement in particular, especially when a brother or sister police officer gets murdered, it's deep. Those scars are never ending. And so, we have our maintenance programs you're talking about. But so what do we do with that? I mean, are we doing all we can do, or should we be doing more? What's the best recommendations, I guess, when, someone has a critical incident in the department? That scares the heck out of a sheriff. Like, are we set? Are we prepared for this? Are we able to take care of that person, the rest of the team? If the person passes, that's one, but two, critical injuries that may be life-changing and altering for the rest of their life. And, you never feel like you're quite ready for that. We're ready for tactical situations and arrest and, someone disturbing the jail, but we're not ready for taking care of our people. I feel very vulnerable.
I think I hesitate to ever say we got this. We got this figured out because I don't think we're ever going to be there. But I can also acknowledge I feel like we're in a better situation now than we were in the past. Some new things that we're trying to get better at continually is after that critical incident, reaching out to all those involved that night, day, afternoon, whatever time of day it is,
Right.
as well as 24 hours later, as well as a week later. And I think realistically, making it just normal to talk. It's normal to talk about the fact that it was a really messed up situation and that you couldn't sleep or you weren't hungry or whatever it is. So I think the more that we can do that, the better off everyone is going to be. And actually, we're starting off where now for the road, they're able to ask over dispatch for the wellness team to be dispatched. So we can go to the whichever area it is to support the folks.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. And you just watch a horrible, statistic. I don't watch it. A statistic that I use all the time when I'm talking to people. I've had more of my friends commit suicide than I had killed in the line of duty, and by far, by absolute far. And I think about all those people, and you wonder if you did all you can. Now I'm in charge. I'm not only obligated, but it's the ethical thing to make sure we're doing all we can by our people. And that's one extreme, but really just want people to live a healthy life, a well life. I tell the kids in the academy, I call them kids now, hey, your job is to do your 20, 25 years, 30 years if you want to do it, but your job is then to leave, be healthy, and abuse the heck out of the retirement system. Collect that check as long as you can,
Absolutely.
right? Because you earned it. You earned it. You and your family earned that check. And, so it's well beyond a critical incident. It's also, can we live a healthy lifestyle so you can enjoy retirement? You've earned it. So that preventive maintenance part is so cool.
Yeah, the life expectancy of law enforcement being 20, 25 years less than the general public is it's horrifying.
Yeah.
And I think cops know it. We all know it. But then what are we doing about it? Yeah. Are we working on quitting smoking or losing weight or, reducing our stress level? What are we doing about it? And I think that's what we're trying right now to really turn the corner on.
Yeah, simple things like I just walked the fourth floor and through the jail bureau command staff, and there's a bowl of fresh fruit, apples, and bananas, and grabbed an apple. That was my lunch today, but it was there. It was readily available as opposed to grabbing a candy bar somewhere.
Yep.
These simple things, the gymnasiums that we're building, the gym downstairs and out in the zone, hopefully soon, these gyms are utterly incredible. It's amazing how many people use them when you build it.
Yep.
So thanks, Kim. We appreciate what you do. It's great to have you on
Thank
this
you.
episode. I hope people understand, in particular, I hope families are listening, that we care about them, we love them, and they're part of the team. And we got people here to help anything you need. Kim Butler's got an open checkbook, because I told her that in public. Yeah, okay, wait.
And we're open to suggestions. So if there's something we could do new or better, I think we need to hear that so
That's
we
a
can
great
always
point.
change.
And we need to hear from the families. One of the things just talking to someone the other day in the hallway, they hear about these great wellness events you got going on through their loved one that's the police officer, right? But they don't always know. I found out they didn't hear that. They didn't know whether you do what, you had these what. So we got to get them on a simple email list, right? We're sending out information to 1,000 employees all the time. Why not 1,000 employees and 1,000 loved ones? We're not sending out top secret information.
It's like sometimes the flyer goes in your kid's backpack and it doesn't make it home to mom, so they don't do that event.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. We got to circumvent that.
And we do.
All right, good stuff.
2023.
I love it. Well, thank you, Kim Butler. We appreciate what you do. And we don't end the episode like that. We end the episode with the No Miranda Zone.
Love it. Bring it on.
All right. Oh, really?
Bring it on.
Favorite candy bar?
I don't really eat candy bars, but if
That's
I was
not an
going
answer.
to eat one, I would say Payday, an underappreciated candy bar.
That's you. That is so you. Yeah, always the underappreciated, right? That's awesome. What's your favorite workout when you're at the gym?
Oh, I love boxing and I love high interval, anything high interval,
High
and
intensity?
I love running.
Yeah. Oh,
Love
really?
running, yeah.
Treadmill?
I prefer outside, but
Yeah,
at 3
absolutely.
a.m., really not very
Yeah.
safe, so we'll do it on the treadmill.
I can't do the treadmill. I feel like that mouse.
Put the music on and go in the
Yeah?
zone.
Oh, good for you. That's a skill. Favorite vacation spot?
I really enjoyed, I was recently at Disney, although I was deathly sick. I like anything where I can be active. So if I was in the Adirondacks for hiking or
Yeah.
something like that, I'd go there.
I got a 10-day bike trip planned for June. I've been planning it for a few months. And
Love it.
going to go to Maine, hopefully the
gonna be
northeasternmost part.
incredible.
Yeah. And the best part is I'm going by myself.
Oh, that's even better.
I love it. Hey, see, thank you.
If you need a partner, let me know.
No, people they keep on inviting themselves. I don't think you guys get it. I want to be the introvert. I want to just disappear and not have to. No, I'll call home once in a while.
I did a 180-mile bike tour when I was
Oh,
in
you
the
did?
sixth grade.
Yeah.
It was
There you go.
amazing.
Yeah. It's a great way to see the world. It's at that perfect speed. You can enjoy things around
That's
you.
right.
But you're moving somewhere. You're going somewhere. That's awesome. Well, great having you on the show. I hope
you.
the public understands a little bit more about our wellness program, and in particular you, and building it out. And you're a blessing to be here.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.